I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. A few episodes ago, I was so excited about a root beer stimulus. I was going to spend my entire stimulus check on root beer. And it turns out that spending $1,200 strictly on root beer caused root beer prices to inflate beyond all sanity. They just exploded. Who knew that spending money on taking care of myself and things that helped me live through this pandemic would cause prices to soar? Oh, just kidding. Root beer's still pretty cheap. Obviously, everything's gone up a little bit, but turns out that giving people a few $100s in the middle of a pandemic isn't actually what causes prices to go up. Instead, it's just corporate greed, exploiting a crisis and profiteering while still not paying their workers anything, but giving huge bonuses to all their executives. Normal capitalism stuff. It happens. Not only does giving people a few $100s in a pandemic not cause inflation, only doing that and basically nothing else also doesn't cause the pandemic to go away. You live and learn, I guess. I've actually just been informed that over 1 million people just in America have not lived. But hopefully someone's learned something. I need a drink.
I'm gonna party like I did when I was 8. Drink too much root beer, stay up late. The Adam glasses, root beer around the head. Yeah, the Adam glass, root beer around the
Well, since my wages have stagnated like everybody else's in the last decade, and Big Root Beer is off spending all the profits I've given them digging a hole to Mars, I had to go for some less expensive options this week with store brands. Someday I'll seize the means of root beer production and we'll live in a root beer topia. But for now, we gotta save some money. We've got 3 products from grocery stores that you might have access to. I admit I'm a little Pennsylvania heavy. Don't know how that happened. I don't even live in Pennsylvania. But whatever root beer is closest to you, in whatever grocery store is closest to you, I'm sure it's fine. Just go drink it. I know that's not what you're supposed to say on some sort of YouTube review show, but that's the law I'm laying down. Whatever root beer you can reach out your hand and grab, tip it up and take a sip. First up on my flavors, though, we've got Market District Premium Craft Soda Root Beer Flavored Soda made with cane sugar. This monstrosity of name is put out by Giant Eagle. We've also got contains no alcohol. Got to make sure you know that. Those alcoholic root beers that were on the market for a while seem to have disappeared in my neck of the woods. But be careful. You never know where they're lurking. Giant Eagle is based out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I believe, and kind of they boiled over Pennsylvania's borders. I think they're as far west as Indianapolis and as far east as the Atlantic Ocean. Maybe you'll find one. Maybe you won't. Maybe you'll have to go to Kroger or Wegmans. Next up, I've got probably one you might have access to. I'm not sure how many Aldi there are in the U.S., but there seem to be plenty. And this is Summit Root Beer. Sparkling, non-alcoholic as well, made with pure cane sugar. This is Aldi's in-store brand, and as such is the cheapest thing on the table. It's, I think, $2.50 for 4 bottles of this. It's a pretty good deal no matter what you're drinking. If it tastes good, too, it's going to become my new go-to. Last up, we have a bit of nostalgia for me. This is Weis Quality from Weis Markets. Weis is a Pennsylvania regional grocery store. When I lived in Hagerstown, Maryland growing up, I had a lot of their white birch beer. And that's what we're drinking this time. I had a friend of mine pick this up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, so I know Weis spreads at least that far from Hagerstown to Lancaster. That's, I think, about 200 miles, though, so not that far. But in any case, hopefully Someday, you can try this yourself. This is one of my favorite sodas, and I'm looking very forward to tasting this again. But let's dig in. First off, Market District, Giant Eagle. Nice little white head there. Pretty dark color, a little translucent. Smells like something that should not have the word premium on the label. Smells pretty generic. But generic's not bad. And pour that softly. Yeah, look at that. Not too dark at all. So I've got really heavy vanilla and sassafras medicinal notes on the nose. And it tastes quite a bit like it smells. This is really close to A&W or any sort of other mass market. A little bit syrupy, but not too bad. There's a lot of sweetness that really cuts the medicinal herbiness. It's smooth, so that's nice all the way through. No real bite to it. I like a little root beer. A little bite in my root beer. Now, I haven't had Giant Eagle's regular store brand, so I don't know how that compares to this premium glass bottle real sugar version, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say it probably tastes a lot like this. Because this is really what you want from a store brand root beer. It's not syrupy like at all, which is good. Store brands often can be pretty syrupy. This is a little bit, but not too bad. I don't think, though, it's worth that premium price. Get the 2-liter. A Giant Eagle is regular root beer. Probably your better bet. Next up, the Summit root beer. Ooh, there's some good vanilla on the nose there. I need a little water. Yeah, smelling like vanilla. Head dissipated pretty quick. A little darker. Well, maybe not quite. About the same shade as the Giant Eagle brand. Yeah, definitely getting a good vanilla nose. Maybe a little birch behind that on the nose too. Yeah, there's a bite to this, but it's also very creamy. Definitely heavy vanilla in the taste, almost like a cream soda. And a little sassafras and birch behind that. That bite's nice. You know, this is a solid craft root beer. And at an Aldi price, I'm going back. I gotta highly recommend that. Goodness. While you're there, pick up some Clancy's chips, or I think that's what they're called. Before I bought this, I hadn't been in an Aldi in years. It used to be the grocery store I could walk to. Now it's not. That's unfortunate. All right. Let's see if Weis quality lives up to the quality of my memory. Smells like it's going to. I've said this before, I'm sure, but what I want out of a white birch beer is basically a pure wintergreen soda. It's got to be so clear. Looks like carbonated water. Step one's right. It's got a smell like birch, nice wintergreenness, and realistically just nothing else. That's what I want, and that's what I got here. That's perfect. Yep, it is. Can't wait to drink the rest of this. Can't wait to drink the rest of any of these. Except for maybe that Giant Eagle one. It's fine. It's not worth the money. But that's what I need. Nostalgia in a glass. Gets you right in the heart. All right, if we're rating these, this is what I want. But I admit, it's not for everybody. So on the out-of-glass scale of Birch beers, this is the platonic ideal. Absolutely beautiful. That is a number 5 root beer for me. 5 points out of 5 points. This Summit, you can't beat that price. For root beer that cheap, glass bottle, real sugar, I'd expect it to taste a lot worse than that. And that is just a fine, solid craft root beer flavor. Highly recommend the Aldi. I'm giving it 5 points too. But back to this one. Market District Premium Craft Soda Root Beer Flavored Soda. It's fine. It's fine, but it's too expensive. I don't know. Maybe you got one of those Giant Eagle rewards cards. You get a couple of bucks off sometime. Go for it then. But as it stands, head to Aldi, man. If you're in an area with Weis, go there. Their Birch beer's this good, but the rest of their root beers are great too. Anyway, good luck out there. Remember, seize the means of root beer.